In this video, I'll talk about the market for currencies when there is a change in demand for automobiles, a good that is frequently traded across international borders. So let's suppose that there is an increase in demand among Europeans for American-produced automobiles. We'll describe and illustrate the impact on the euro to US dollar exchange rate. We will draw the market for both US dollars, so I'll put the quantity of US dollars right here, and the market for euros. So I'll put the quantity of euros. And really, each of these are the quantity of US dollars traded for euros, or the quantity of euros traded for US dollars. But we'll think about the one on the left as the market for US dollars, and the one on the right as the market for euros. In the market for US dollars, the relevant exchange rate is euros per US dollar. In the market on the right, the market for euros, the relevant exchange rate is US dollars per euro. You always put the currency in the denominator with the market that you're talking about. I'm going to draw a blue demand curve for US dollars and a blue upward sloping supply curve for euros. These are one and the same curves. The demand for US dollars is the supply of euros. When Europeans buy US dollars, the demand for US dollars, they supply or sell their euros to do so. I'll use a different color, let's say red, to draw a downward sloping demand for euros. The demand for euros is the supply of dollars. When Americans demand to buy euros, they do that by selling their US dollars. And then I'll label the exchange rate. Here's the first equilibrium exchange rate. And here's the original equilibrium quantity. Okay, so now what happens here? There's an increase in demand among Europeans for American-produced automobiles. What you should think of here first is whose behavior is changing. It's Europeans' behavior that's changing. Europeans are the individuals that demand or buy US dollars. So with Europeans' behavior that's changing, it's the demand for US dollars that's changing. And let's see, there's an increase in demand for American-produced goods, and therefore there's an increase in demand for US dollars to purchase those goods. So there's going to be a rightward shift in the demand for US dollars. The demand for US dollars is the supply of euros. So if that one's shifting to the right, this one's shifting to the right. Europeans sell more of their euros to buy US dollars in order to buy automobiles produced in the United States. Let's label our new equilibrium E2, E2. We can see there was an appreciation of the US dollar. In the market for US dollar, the exchange rate went up. And we can see there's a depreciation in the euro. The exchange rate in the market for euro went down. And then we can see there is more currency traded here. The quantity of euros exchanged for dollars increased, shown in both graphs. And that concludes this video.